Welcome to U.S. Immigration TV. I'm Michael Gurfinkel. In this video, I would like to discuss what to do when you receive a notice or welcome letter from the National Visa Center, or NVC, especially if you are now in the U.S. Now, what typically happens is a petition is filed on behalf of a person or a perm or labor certification, at which time the person gets a priority date or their place in line. Now, unless a person is an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen, which is a spouse, parent, or minor child, who are immediately eligible for visas, there's typically a waiting time before their priority date is current and the visa can be issued. So once USCIS approves the petition and it's indicated that the person will be processing at a consular post abroad, the petition is sent to the National Visa Center for storage. And there it sits, sometimes many, many years, 15 or 20 years, until the priority date is eventually current. A few months before the priority date is current, NVC will send notices out to the petitioner and beneficiary. That's where there is the welcome letter, and that's where problems can come up. For example, if the petitioner or beneficiary has moved, they must let the National Visa Center know of their new address. Otherwise, NVC will send the notices to the last address they have on file for the person. And in those notices, it states that the person has 1 year to respond. If they do not, the case can be terminated. And I've seen that happen so many times where, let's say, a person's being petitioned by a brother or sister or as a married child. Years and years go by, they move or the petitioner moves and they do not let the NVC know. Notice goes to the last address they have on file, no response, case over. So therefore, make sure you notify the NVC of any change of address. Has there been any change in the person's marital status? For example, were they petitioned as single? Now they are married. Were they married and now their marriage has terminated either through annulment, death, or divorce? Those type of events could also have an impact on a person's immigration status and waiting time. For example, if they were single and then they got married, the waiting time could be longer. If they were petitioned as married and now they are unmarried, the waiting time could be much faster. But you have to let the National Visa Center know. Another item is, were kids born since the time that the petition was filed? If so, notify the NVC so those children can be added on or included. In other words, if a petition is filed and then after it is filed, children are born, it could be possible they can be added to the petition. Another item, did the petitioner or beneficiary unfortunately pass away? If that's the case, if the petitioner died, the family can seek humanitarian revalidation. If the beneficiary dies and they are outside the U.S., no humanitarian revalidation is available. If you are now in the U.S., and the petition was filed when you're outside, it could be possible that you could apply for your green card in the U.S., or if you must depart the U.S. because you're out of status and are not eligible, you might have to get a provisional waiver. I mean, don't just simply start filling out the paperwork, responding, paying fees to the NVC unless you update the circumstances of your case. And I would strongly advise that if you are receiving welcome letters or notices from the NVC after all this waiting time, you consult with an attorney who can evaluate your case, determine eligibility. If you're in the U.S., determine if you can apply for your green card in the U.S. If not, make arrangements to see if you can qualify for a provisional waiver. If your priority date is already current and you have not received any notice from the National Visa Center, I would definitely consult with an attorney because something is wrong. They could have already sent it to the wrong address or an old address, and that 1-year clock for terminating your case could be ticking. That's why I say, with something as important as your immigration status, especially if you have waited years and years, rather than guessing or trying to do things on your own, I would strongly recommend that you consult with an attorney, and perhaps an attorney can assist you in processing your papers and determining the best place to be processed for your green card. I hope you found this video informative. I will continue to post videos of interest to people on immigration news, policies, developments, and procedures. So therefore, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'm Michael Gurfinkel, and this is U.S. Immigration TV.